President Joseph R. Biden Jr. for a lifelong commitment to using his media and philanthropic platforms to help build a stronger nation. Our host is Tavis's family, friends, colleagues, and luminaries, including LA Mayor Karen Bass, joined in the celebration. KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to thank the following partners for their support: the Weingart Foundation, Dr. Shikari Byerly, Rodrigo Byerly, and the team at Aviterus Public Opinion Research, Waters Tax Service, LA Councilmember Heather Hutt, the Empowerment Congress, Wallace and Renee Fortuné, the IQ Air Foundation, Dr. Kenneth Arduna, and Central Neighborhood Christian Health Clinics, LA County Supervisor Holly Mitchell, LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn, Ambassador Michael A. Lawson, Ambassador Charles R. Stiff, and Attorney John E. Sweeney. Congratulations, Tavis, on your Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Why do you attract avoidant partners? Watch this video to find out. Hi, I'm Katia Morozova. I'm a personal and relationship coach for people who are ready to heal their relationship and attachment wounds, who are ready to feel secure in their skin and finally have healthy, secure relationships. I'm also the founder of KatiaMorozova.me. If you're new to my channel, definitely hit that subscribe button to watch more videos that support you to becoming secure from within and really having and attracting the relationships that you most desire. Also, please go ahead and hit that like button. It will support me in growing my channel, and of course, it'll support me and also making better content for you. So it's a win-win. So go ahead and hit that button. So there you are, you start a relationship and things seem to be going really well, and boom, all of a sudden you realize that this person is not available and is avoidant in the relationship. And once again, you're wondering how the heck you got here and how you ended up with another person who just isn't available for you and cannot meet your needs. It is incredibly frustrating, especially if this pattern has been happening for months or for years. So in this video, I really want to support you to understand why you keep attracting avoidant partners, and let's talk about what you can start to do about it. One of the reasons that you attract avoidant partners is because something about those partners feel very familiar to you. While the familiarity may feel uncomfortable and being with an avoidant person feels less than ideal, there's something about it that does feel familiar. If you're an anxious, preoccupied partner, then as a child, you had to do a lot of work to get your needs met. You had to, in a sense, cling or act out or do a lot of things for a parental figure. So when you grow up, there's some part of you that feels like it's normal to continuously be moving towards a partner in order to get your needs met. Some adult part of you thinks that it's not quite right or there's something missing, and you know that this pattern may be dysfunctional or less than sustainable, but there's another unconscious part of you that's running the show that feels and thinks that this is somehow okay. Something about this person signals to you that you just need to show enough love and adoration for them, and if they could only receive that love, then they would give that love back to you. Another reason you attract...
Okay, spirit download time. You've heard me talk about relationship as a mirror. We're going to peel that back even further. You heard what she said about being attracted to an avoidant attachment style, right? Typically, the avoidant attachment style is a bit emotionally unavailable. The disorganized version of it is available and unavailable from nanosecond to nanosecond. Come here, get away. Come here, get away. Whereas the dismissive avoidant might be more, I am just fine in my own little world, my cocoon, right? I'm an up-level relationship as a mirror. Anxious, preoccupied, subconsciously chases the emotionally unavailable. Why is that? Some would say that that is the invert of who they are. They want closeness. They want approval. They want validation. They want to be shown that they are accepted and loved. I'm gonna tell you something. Do you know why the anxious, preoccupied chases the avoidant type or style? Do you know why? I'm going to give it up right now before I even give you the topic of tonight's show. Do you know why this happens? You know how we say you get who you are? I'm going to take it up a notch. You also get what you don't want. What? So, yes, you get what you don't want. You get what you repress. Did you know that the anxious, preoccupied doesn't want a clingy person? They've been programmed since childhood to chase. There is a payoff in the chase. If I can convert this person, if I can get this person to see it my way, if I could actually fix a relationship, do you see? Do you see? You also get what you avoid in self. You repress who you really are. You don't really like you. So you're manifesting that too, right? That's being magnetized into your presence as well, right? See, the avoidant and the anxious, preoccupied are really two sides of the same coin. Do you see? They get somebody who is like them, and then they start to shift and turn avoidant. Oh my God, that's just hugging and loving and kissing and always there. Because that's not really what you want, because you haven't been programmed or conditioned for that. Whatever your attachment style creates a conditional compulsion towards the attachment wound. So this leads me to my topic tonight. When the right person feels wrong. A deeper look at how our wounds distort our intuition. Here are some synonyms or euphemisms for the term right person. Ideal match. Hey, you're anxious, preoccupied. Guess what? You want somebody to love on you and show you care and appreciate you and value you and nurture you. But then you start to shift avoidant all of a sudden. Because deep down inside, you haven't reconciled the core wound that comes with the AP, anxious, preoccupied. Oh, ideal match, perfect fit, suitable partner, compatible companion, best match, appropriate individual, ideal candidate, perfect counterpart, trusted confidant, the chosen one. You start ignoring your gut feeling. You start ignoring your intuition. Because your intuition might be saying, this is the one you might need. This is a securely attached person. Or someone who has the same attachment style as you. Anxious, preoccupied. They're going to lean in and you're going to lean in and you guys are going to meet in the middle. It's not that you're going to be without your problems, but you guys are going to lean in and meet in the middle and you're going to work through everything. That's not what you've been conditioned for since you picked up your attachment style in early childhood. Now, typically, anxious preoccupieds and the avoidant types are attracted to each other. Oh, here we go. What do? Yeah. We're supposed to come together so we can reconcile each other's attachment wounds. Not so we can defend the wounds. Not so we can protect the wounds. We're actually supposed to open those wounds up. Yeah, I know it's traumatic. Yeah, I know it gives you the ick. Yeah, I know it makes you anxious. But that is the purpose of why you attracted the type of person that you attracted. But you've been conditioned to stand guard for your attachment wounds. Intuition, the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. A thing that one knows or considers likely from instinctive feelings rather than conscious reasoning. Intuition. We've all heard the saying, trust your gut. But for complex, that's PTSD, CPTSD, and childhood PTSD survivors, this may actually prove daunting. How could something so natural bring about so much anxiety? This is due primarily to conditioning and adverse relational experiences that have shaped our understanding of what trust is and how it functions in our relationships, both inter and intrapersonally. Not being in connection with your gut feeling, i.e. intuition, causes great distress, confusion, and can lead you to make relationships choices that you would not have otherwise. So when it comes to choosing a partner, if you lack trust in your intuition, i.e. self, higher self, some would say intuition is ori, some would say intuition is the superego, some would say intuition is the God self, the higher self that's higher than the fearful little child that lives inside of you, right? If you're not connected to that, how can you be sure of the choices you're making? Can you really trust your gut if it's rooted in trauma? See, the right person is the person to irritate you. You've never looked at it that way. The right person is the person that's going to irritate your wounds. Your wounds must be irritated in order to come to the conscious of your mind. They come to the conscious of your mind through relational conflict so that you can take responsibility for their existence. If they're suppressed and repressed into the subconscious to where they never come. Everybody, a relationship's supposed to be good and easy, smooth sailing. That's how I know I'm in a healthy relationship. Clinician after clinician after clinician. There are some clinicians who believe in quality conflict. Conflict that leads to a deeper understanding. Conflict that leads to personal growth. Conflict that can actually raise the couple's conscious level up. Can deepen the bond. We were taught happily ever after. We were taught relationships ain't hard. We were taught they not supposed to be hard. We were taught love is honey and candy and cotton candy and good time. No, it's not. I'm here to tell you the right person is the right trigger. I know. We often hear the phrase, trust your gut. But should people who have gone through complex PTSD and or CPTSD and childhood PTSD follow their gut if it's always in flight or fight mode? Here are some thought-provoking questions to consider. Is it possible to trust others if you can't trust yourself? What are some indicators that you lack self-trust? How might one show up in a relationship when they have developed their gut instincts? What are some risks associated with building relationships while lacking a healthy intuition? True or false, the goal of narcissism is to utilize betrayal, abuse, coercion, and control to separate you from your inner authority and become that authority. What are the spiritual implications associated with disconnecting from your intuition? Can spiritual attacks be a consequence for reigniting your connection with your intuition? I want to know. I got so many questions tonight. We're going to get way deep. You already know what it is. Non-judgmental conversation. Everybody is welcome. Everybody's opinion matters. Call me right now. 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, more from the VOR.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Tavis Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today. Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
So let's break it down for people. Let's help people out. We started talking about three very important words: connection, which you defined, chemistry, which we've defined, and compatibility, which we've defined. How do people know the difference between connection and chemistry when they meet someone? Because I find that the science shows that you're experiencing dopamine and cortisol at the same time. So you're experiencing the reward chemical and stress chemical at the same time, which gives you that chemistry feeling, which is the feeling of butterflies in your stomach, or like, do they like me? Are they into me? What should I wear? That kind of feeling. But then you're talking about a deeper connection. How do you hear the difference? Because I think a lot of us just get swept up in the feeling of, oh, I'm so into that person, they're so into me. How do you know?
So I think one is, are you even being yourself, or can you be yourself with this individual? If you're presenting your representative, then this is not a real connection. This is them falling for that person that you're presenting, but that's not real. So to me, you should be already being yourself, but with that person you have a connection with, it's a more natural flow. We don't have to force it. We just feel so much more comfortable around them. I think in addition to that is when you find yourself all caught up in the moment and caught up in that chemistry, again, you have to ask yourself, what am I really...
People are, they can't help but be caught up in a dopamine rush. It's like a drug. We live our lives every day to get a dopamine rush, to get that release from our brain. Something has to bring us some level of dopamine, whether it's a cigar, a candy bar, or a smile from our partner. So it's hard to criticize people. This is what I'm trying to say. Relationships are probably going to be more cortisol than dopamine. Just understand that. Relationship is a mirror, and everything you hide from yourself is reflected through that mirror. Okay? That's how it's designed. I'm not saying we're supposed to be with terrible people. What I'm saying is some of the best people in our lives expose us to us, and it doesn't always feel good. As a matter of fact, most of the time it feels bad. It feels horribly bad. But the reason why it feels so bad is because you've worked so hard to suppress the real you. Do you understand? The right person will trigger you. The right person is the sand in the clam that is irritating the clam to the point where it has to secrete some kind of fluid that coats the sand and turns it into a pearl. You don't get a pearl without irritation. And the best relationships are predicated on our ability to tolerate the sand within each other. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, because you believe what Disney told you. Disney is a liar. Disney ain't no different than the devil. You say the devil is a lie, so is Disney, because happily ever after was the biggest relationship lie anybody ever told. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, but it's the truth. How do unhealed childhood wounds influence the ideal match archetype we subconsciously seek? I done told you about the secret to the anxious preoccupied. The anxious preoccupied is conditioned to go after emotionally unavailable people. So when emotionally available people show up, the anxious preoccupied is kind of like, meh. Okay, you cool, yeah. But I'm looking for what's running away. This is why they're running after the emotionally unavailable. Leave them folk alone. They're chasing after who doesn't want them. And they're acting like, meh, for the person who does. I'm guilty of it. I've done it. When I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. You want to talk about it? Let's get it. The right one don't always feel right. When we come forward, more from the VOR.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Sean Diddy Combs is being hit with a new wave of lawsuits. The new cases filed in Manhattan federal court are by 5 more alleged victims, including 3 men and a woman who was 19 years old at the time. The incidents allegedly took place between 1995 and 2021. The Trump campaign says Vin Miller, arrested outside of a California rally, was not trying to assassinate the former president. Miller, found with loaded guns and fake passports, called the claims ridiculous after his release on $5,000 bail. Vice President Kamala Harris will sit for an exclusive interview with Fox News. It'll air Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern from Pennsylvania, a key battleground state this November. Reverend Dr. Cecilia Bryant, a leader in the African Methodist Episcopal Church, died on September 26th at 77 from breast cancer. After moving to Baltimore in 1976, she established a women's center and was known for her advocacy work in Liberia. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
September 15th to 21st is Asthma Peak Week, with the highest concentration of asthma flare-ups and hospitalizations. To become a more active participant in your care, visit luma-edu.com. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Tavis Smiley on receiving the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from President Joseph R. Biden Jr. for a lifelong commitment to using his media and philanthropic platforms to help build a stronger nation. A host of Tavis's family, friends, colleagues, and luminaries, including LA Mayor Karen Bass, joined in the celebration. KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to thank the following partners for their support. The Weingart Foundation, Dr. Shikari Byerly, Rodrigo Byerly, and the team at Aviterus Public Opinion Research, Waters Tax Service, LA Councilmember Heather Hutt, the Empowerment Congress, Wallace and Renee Fortuné, the IQ Air Foundation, Dr. Kenneth Arduna and Central Neighborhood Christian Health Clinics, LA County Supervisor Holly Mitchell, LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn, Ambassador Michael A. Lawson, Ambassador Charles R. Stiff, and Attorney John E. Sweeney. Congratulations, Tavis, on your Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. SMP volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an SMP open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit ca-smp-volunteer.org.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, just call 687-246-9655 to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on it every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Put a sheet on it. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Put a sheet on it. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
So trusting your intuition is a skill that can be learned. This is an amazing skill. This is something that I had to recognize was sort of like defective because I grew up believing that I was unworthy. My parents, in more ways than one...
Pause. We got to start that from the top. And the reason why I say that, because sometimes these clinicians, and they be speaking so fast, these psychologists, did you hear which? My intuition was defective. This is what it means. To the wound is your umwelt or gestalt, right? For animals, right? For humans, it's called the gestalt. This is how we view the world. That is a human gestalt, right? We see things through the gestalt. For animals, it's called the umwelt. A snake, especially a viper, sees the world through an umwelt, and its umwelt uses heat, so they don't see the way we see. They see heat signatures, right? Humans use the gestalt, right? This is the way we see the world. Now, intuition is a spiritual process that deals with some type of presage. Presage means to know without words. There's just an inner knowing, right? There's this presage of, something is off. So instinctual, but spiritual. Something that gives you an understanding without necessarily putting it into words, right? An ineffable knowing, this presage. That's intuition. If you suffer from PTSD, if you have an insecure attachment style, you are looking through the gestalt, through the lens of unhealed wounds. So your intuition can be tainted, can be thrown off, i.e., the anxious preoccupied looking for an emotionally unavailable partner. Why? Do you think your spirit is guiding this? Your spirit is saying you need to break the chokehold that your insecure attachment style has on you. And the only way to do that is to attract, listen to what I'm saying now, what I want. See, the anxious preoccupied will come out of his mouth and say, I want somebody to love on me. But his spirit is saying you need somebody to neglect you, to reject you. So you can watch and see this attachment wound come to the surface. This is how you heal it. As long as you're getting everything you need, it stays submerged. Let it play.
So trusting your intuition is a skill that can be learned. This is an amazing skill. This is something that I had to recognize was sort of like defective because I grew up believing that I was unworthy. My parents, in more ways than one, had my siblings and I believe that we were less than everyone. How did they do that? They told us that our emotions were invalid. So you have nothing to cry about. You have no right to feel that way. If you want to cry, I'll give you something to cry about. If you want to cry, go upstairs and cry. Get away from the table if you're going to cry. Who said you should be happy? Who said people are happy? Why do you think you should be happy? Be happy with what I serve you. You should kiss my feet because we gave you this. Look how you live. Everything was guilt. You weren't allowed to experience any negative emotions. And yet, negative emotions are an experience. And every human being is going to experience negative emotions.
Man, oh man, a Shavitz. We on fire tonight. Can the best match trigger fear of abandonment, rooted in unresolved attachment trauma, causing you to push them away prematurely? How does stonewalling as a defense mechanism in relationship create emotional distance, making the right person feel emotionally inaccessible? Oh, man. Can cherophobia, lead one to misinterpret the joy and stability of a perfect counterpart as a source of impending disappointment or betrayal. Who got better questions? In what ways does the avoidance of emotional intimacy due to unhealed wounds cause you to self-sabotage relationships with emotionally available partners? Huh? Could the emotional wounds that shape a self-victimization mindset distort the ability to recognize emotional manipulation, thus perpetuating unhealthy relationship patterns? I want to know. In what ways can trauma therapy and spiritual practices, such as those taught by Iyanla Vanzant, aid in restoring intuitive trust and recognizing healthy relationships? See, sometimes we are set up to go after what we don't want because we need that to grow into the person who deserves what we do want. Ain't that the same thing? Listen, hold on. Isn't that the same thing? When when the ladies get on and talk about their ex and how terrible he was and they had to go through all this mess, but they learned from it and then it made them a better woman and it prepared them for the man that was to come. Ain't that the same? But if I said, oh no, he wrong, who is he to be talking? Is that the same? You had to go through me to get to him. And yet I'm a mess. 1-800-920-1580. Somebody get to your phone lines. Get ready. 1-800-920-1580. The idea of the right person in relationship is often romanticized. We expect to find an ideal match, someone who complements us perfectly, feels like home, and fits seamlessly into our lives. However, for individuals with unhealed psychological wounds, especially stemming from childhood trauma, the very concept of intuition becomes unreliable. The gut feeling that one is advised to trust may no longer serve as a guide to compatibility, but rather a misinterpreted signal tainted by unresolved trauma. We about to get into it. When we come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. Get down with me.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hey, LA, it's time to step up and be a climate change hero. Go Metro and help us shape a better future for all Angelinos. From enhancing our diverse communities to preserving our planet, Metro is dedicated to making a positive impact with every ride. Start your journey at metro.net.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
This truck season, think about all the things you can do in a Chevy truck. You can even just with impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and multiple powertrains. Chevy Silverado, the first ever Silverado EV, Colorado and Tahoe have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, together let's drive. 0% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $27.78 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 9.3%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 10/31/24.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are we Adam and Eve, or are we atoms and matter? Fact of the matter, that doesn't matter. Imagine I've had some moments that puzzle my puppet master. A different page, another chapter. A clouded vision and came a natural disaster. Are these tears from heaven, a god with a bad bladder? Blacker the grapes, greater the wrath of the apes. Paid by the glass for a taste of it after it gets to Napa. Valleys and peaks, I navigate with my speech. Alleys and streets, I gravitate to the freaks. Gallery piece, they gather to gab about me. I put a gat to my teeth and grab a bounty. And y'all can hold Essex County accountable for the dirty, rotten scoundrel flow.
Everyone tells you to trust your instincts, to follow your heart. But if you were abused and neglected as a kid, that is the worst advice ever, and I'll tell you why. Trauma actually damages your instincts, and if you've got PTSD from childhood, believing that you can just trust your gut and do the thing that feels right can be the fastest way to keep making the same major life mistakes over and over again. Jumping into relationships, storming out on important conversations, allowing yourself to hurt other people while you wait for some inner voice to come and tell you to stop. Today I'm going to read you 3 letters from people who find themselves in difficult and unhappy situations and who have followed their gut feeling and are now in need of a better way to evaluate their actions. All right? So first I have a letter from someone I'll call Kathleen.
Pause. Before she gets into the letter, and I don't even know if we need to read the letter because what she just said was enough. But just hold it for 1 second. Unhealed childhood wounds. Breaks your picker. It causes your picker to malfunction. You're picking comfort, not growth. That's what she said. You're picking safety because you've never been safe. This is why your attachment style is labeled as insecure. It's not secure, so you're picking security. Security creates a type of hyperbaric chamber around the wound. Safety. Protect me. They're coming to get me for the entire span of your life. Do you see? Or it's, I'll do it myself. Don't help me. I'm never going to ask for help because that's what you learned. I can only trust me because if I couldn't trust my primary caregiver, how can I trust anybody else? It's only me. I got it. Hey, show me you love me. Show me you care. Do you understand? You keep attracting the right person. Don't you know the person that made you feel bad is the right person? The person that triggered you is the right person? Start that clip from the beginning so we can get it again.
Everyone tells you to trust your instincts, to follow your heart. But if you were abused and neglected as a kid, that is the worst advice ever, and I'll tell you why. Trauma actually damages your instincts, and if you've got PTSD from childhood, believing that you can just trust your gut and do the thing that feels right can be the fastest way to keep making the same major life mistakes over and over again. Jumping into relationships, storming out on important conversations, allowing yourself to hurt other people while you wait for some inner voice to come and tell you to stop. Today I'm going to read you 3 letters from people who find themselves in difficult and unhappy situations and who have followed their gut feeling and are now in need of a better way to evaluate their actions. All right? So first I have a letter from someone I'll call Kathleen. She says, "Dear Anna, I listen to your videos almost daily and they've helped me so much already. For example, I avoided many panic attacks at work because of you, and I'm allowing myself to stand in my strength more than ever. Thank you so much for your important work. I'm also doing therapy, EMDR and classic talking therapy. Both start to finally show results after years. Boundaries and emotions get to be more than abstract words to me finally. I could always understand what they were logically, but now I really do know and understand. I feel as alive as I have never felt before. I could cry of thankfulness every day. But still, there's one thing that I can't leave behind, and I feel that if I won't let go when it's time, I might hurt myself more with keeping it in my life than by letting it go." All right, so this is all background, and I included it. I didn't edit it out because I felt like it was important to kind of know Kathleen's thinking about this. She goes on to say, "For almost 3 years now, I'm having an affair with a married man. Ugh. We've known each other for 10 years and have always been friends, and for most of the years, we've also been work colleagues. It started as an emotional affair, and we fought the physical attraction for a very long time. We went on and off because I broke up with him several times. I loved him, and it broke my heart too much. He wouldn't change anything about his situation. He reached out again, and although I knew the rush would be followed by a terrible hangover, I let myself snap back to him. I have very patient friends who don't judge me for letting myself go back to him again and again. I always tell them that something is missing to finally make the breakup a sustainable and final choice. I don't trust myself to stay away from him. And so I'm thinking that the pain of staying in the situation is preferable to the terrible pain of breaking up and going back."
Hey, listen, I don't mind tooting my own horn. We have guests sometimes. I don't need celebrities. I don't need people to come in here. I'm going to hit you with this unique perspective that you can't get anywhere but KBLA Talk 1580. The voice of reason is going to drag you kicking and screaming to your healing. That's what this show is about. I don't mind. You heard what she said. You heard the letter. The lady is dragging herself into these dark places, not understanding why. It's all for her healing. It's all for her up-leveling. But she's doing it in the inverse. What do I mean by that? She thinks if she gets what she wants, she will be happy, not knowing that, listen, that dopamine rush is only going to last for a little while before the cortisol starts to catch up. The cortisol is the tortoise in the race. The dopamine is the rabbit. Do you understand? The tortoise won the race. And for most people who are unhealed, trust me, it's all good in the beginning. Is it possible that the perfect counterpart feels wrong because they challenge long-standing cognitive distortions such as catastrophizing or all or nothing thinking? How does the interplay between avoidant personality tendencies and unhealed trauma impact the likelihood of perceiving a best match as a threat to your emotional autonomy? See, what you fail to realize is you're going to choose the lesson. God has set it up that way. It's divinely tuned. You're going to get what you need to learn despite your desire to avoid it, despite your desire to dodge it. You may get the next relationship. It may take a little while longer for it to unravel. Oh, but it's coming. Oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Listen, when we come forward, I promise I'm going to the phone lines. I just wanted to set it up. When we come forward, we going to Miami, Florida. Let's get it.